it's Jen with Astro T Astrology. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about the weekly forecast for November 5th through 11th. A lot of stuff going on at the end of this week. So we start off, as you can see, my lighting stinks. We did set the clocks back an hour, so get a little bit of extra rest, so that was great. We got to get an hour more of sleep. Driving to work in the morning and it's already light out, so that's a nice change, but now it's pitch black at 4:30 at night, so we're gonna have to figure something else out with the lighting, but that'll come. So everyone just seems really tired lately, so this clock's going back, getting the extra hour I think is really helpful, because I swear everyone is saying how tired they are. I guess, I don't know if it's just my family that has a ton of stuff going on, but everyone at work, everyone's exhausted. So get that extra sleep in. I hope you all did. And, we got a lot of stuff coming up with holiday season coming. And we're first going to start off with this week. So we're not out of the woods yet. We just can't shake that uncomfortable feeling. And there is that doom and gloom looming at the end of the week. We start off the week though with a very nice, we start out with romance, we end kind of with an explosion. So starting off the week, yesterday, yes, I'm a day late, but we start with Venus moving into a trine with Pluto. So that's going to make you feel like you're just compelled to go after those needs and desires, those deep down needs and dirty desires that, you just feel like that need to just go after it and just like, I know what I want and I'm going for it. You'll feel that deeper intensity, that sexual, lusty pull. If you're single, it's a good time to find somebody because this is kind of that aspect there. If you meet somebody under it, you're going to quickly get into like kind of a strong love affair. But you want to make sure things are up and up, because we do have Pluto in there, so that is adding to that kind of obsessive kind of desire. So it's got Pluto, and then we have Venus right there. So that is in our nice trine. This is actually still on this day, still down here, hasn't moved into Libra yet. So again, you want to make sure things are on the up and up. It's a nice trine, nice happy. And then we also, on the same day, yesterday, now, of course, everything doesn't last like one day. There is that, build up to, then the peak, and then the kind of, reaping the benefits of, or, paying the prices of. After the aspect takes place. So we also have Uranus at 21 degrees Taurus. Down here, it looks like it's in Gemini, but it's actually in 21 of Taurus, so it's getting towards the end of Taurus. And that is in a, it's actually in a grand trine. So it's in a grand trine with Mercury up here, and then in Scorpio. So Mercury over here in Scorpio, and we have Uranus and Taurus, and it's almost making like a grand kite. This may be that new relationship starting. So we have, this aspect here, then we have this aspect here, and so we have this new relationship that's kind of starting with this Venus and Pluto, or starting a deepening of our current relationship. Make sure that those motivations are in the right place. It's not just an obsession. Pluto, with Mercury and Scorpio, you have all that, and it's being in all earth signs, it's that water, that foundation, and then that peak up there. So we have the earth signs kind of keeping it grounded a little bit, but then, so we have earth, and then earth. So we have here, there's our triangle, and then, so we picture that being a triangle, and then here's the peak up here. So tops it off like a little hat. So see how the kite is made. So we have our earth, big trine, and then the little cap of the of the grand kite. Um, so, we have that water, we have the earth that's making the grand trine. That's the foundation, so it's a good foundation to start on. Really positive grand trine. It's 3 trines. If you are starting a relationship, or if you are trying to better relationship you're in, it's got a good grounding footing. But we have Mercury up there in Scorpio, and that is in a water sign, so things could get a little bit muddy. Mercury is in a trine also to Neptune as well, so that's that muddy, murky kind of, you see things that you want to see. So we see things all got rainbows and lollipops and happiness. You'll easily get swept away in conversations about just anything, everything. This is that Mercury, and you're, getting deep, getting, the Venus, Pluto, going really deep. And with the Mercury, that's, those conversations, those deep talks. You're going to be talking all night long. And, so especially see where this falls in your chart. So if this is falling in like your 5th house, even your 8th house, or anything that, first house, expect something big to be going on in your relationship status. Be ready to open up and really get to know people. Get ready to go really deep. Next, on the 8th, we have Venus, then moving into Libra. So Venus is ruler of Libra, so she is very at home there. So she's going from a place that she's not really comfortable in Virgo, where everything is too kind of stuffy and nitpicky, into that pretty Libra, where everything's just nice, balanced, happy, harmonious. These relationships that we've been working on, you might feel like rejuvenated. You'll feel like an equal, that the relationship's equal and balanced. So maybe if it seemed off balance, now it's going to feel a little more balanced. You're going to see the beauty in what might have been overlooked before. There's beauty everywhere around you. You can see it in, the dead leaves outside. Oh, these leaves are driving me crazy, but now you might see things a little bit differently. You might have that different appreciation for things that maybe you didn't have before. Also, you might, you give what you take. And, you give out positive, you get back positive. You give out beauty, you get back beauty. People appreciate that positivity, that equal, that, fighting for people, that keeping things harmonious, and that being balanced and being fair. Actually, we have some stuff going on at work right now, and we're just trying to keep everything balanced, so everybody's, doing the same amount of work. Nothing's, being on the brunt of anybody more than any, no favoritism, just kind of having that nice balance. This can also be good for you financially, because you're really kind of balancing your checkbook. Maybe if it wasn't before, you may be getting back on track after, we talked about after the summer, we might have spent a lot, we might have been partying a little too much, that frivolous, and, maybe getting ourselves in debt. Well, now, and, even, think about Venus. Venus is all about beauty, so maybe if you did let yourself go a little bit too much of partaking in things that aren't so healthy for us, and now we're going to get back to maybe getting back into shape, taking care of ourselves a little bit better, paying off those debts that we've collected. After all this overspending, now we're kind of getting back on track. We have the holidays coming up, so we're going to get ready to be spending again. So we want to balance that checkbook. We want to see, okay, so we have this, boop, 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 here, and let's get a game plan together. So, things don't get out of hand again. So also with Mercury moving into this trine with Neptune, you have to continue, you continue with those deep probing conversations, just really about anything. Neptune, there's no boundaries. So you're asking any question, and anything is up for grabs. Getting to know all you can about people. If there is a distance between you, now is the time to really come together. Venus really brings people together, so you think about, we're not being separated. If you have a separation between you, you have that blockade between you, now's the time to get rid of it and come together. So it's an intensity that will not only bring about intense, passionate, like sex, but also a bond on a mental level as well. So you might have that fun, sexual stuff going on, but you're also going to bond on a mental level with these deep conversations, really getting to know the other person. So try and really build that bridge and, bring it together. It'll be really a good foundation. So then on the 10th, this is when things start getting a little bit iffy again, and the discomfort starts. So it starts to come back a little bit. We had a nice kind of reprieve, tons of just crap going on in the world right now, just so much, just negativity, and just a nice beginning to the week. So hopefully everything's going to be, a little bit hunky-dory, and if, you can bring it back, if not. But then on the 10th, we do see the discomfort, unfortunately, coming back. Mercury moves into Sagittarius. So we know that Mercury is in its rulership when it's in Virgo, and when it's in Gemini, and when it's opposite to that, that means it's in its detriment. So Mercury then, do that, Sun. So Mercury moving up here into Sagittarius, he's in his detriment. So what does that mean? What does it mean when Mercury, it doesn't mean you can't talk, but it also, once it comes in, it immediately, can't really tell from here because my Mars is over too far, but it immediately goes into a square with Saturn. So you can see where we move away from those nice trines that we have to a planet in its detriment, and moving into a square with, our major malefic. So again, the 10th, Mercury in Sagittarius, squaring Saturn. Our fate and our ego. You might notice others, or yourself even, pushing agendas. Mercury, think of what Mercury stands for, think of what Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, it could be that, you're really set in your ways, and your morals are what is important to you, and you can get a little bit preachy. It's not that kind of that deep down morals. It can get that, it could be based on religion. And think of what's going on in the world now. So we have this war between Hamas and Israel. So it's kind of that Jews against the Muslims. So we have this religious, and it's so it's almost exactly played out. And one saying one thing, one saying another thing, and there's two different sides. You're either on one side and you don't support the other, or you're on the other side and you don't support the other. And people, it's just really hard to navigate this kind of energy right now. This Mercury in Sagittarius really brings a rigidity in our thoughts and our ideals. So we're stubborn, and we don't hear the other side of things. So if you look at what's happening, with everyone talking about this conflict that's going on, people that are on one side just will not hear the other side. And this is, I've talked about this many times before, this is a lot of the problem. Everything's so divided, it's either one way or the other way. So people are really in this, they're really picking sides and just hating the other side. And it's really scary and sad to see that. It's one side's getting that preachiness. You can see that over-explaining Sagittarius, but there is positive part of this aspect as well, because maybe instead we could be learning about a subject, or maybe trying to learn something that we didn't know before. So maybe we're going to learn. This Sagittarius can represent the religion again. So maybe you're going to learn a little bit more and dive a little bit deeper and find out something about these religions that you might not understand, or what might be going on. Also, you have to keep an open mind. Mercury, it's rules those mutable, and it's in a mutable sign. So you have to be able to go with the flow. You have to be able to change a little bit, because you're not going to move forward if you don't change. If you sit with the stubborn, it's in that square against Saturn. So Saturn's about obstacles. It's about, this is the way it is, but Saturn's also in Pisces right now. So it kind of blurs those lines a little bit. So maybe we can open our minds up. So maybe we can, be mutable instead of immutable, and see the other side of things, and accept that things are different, and maybe get to know it a little bit. Maybe if you get to know it and understand it, then you'll be able to understand the other, the reason the other side is pushing for the other thing. So, not saying that you have to, but it's a good way to just see balance and just be understanding of anyone else's pain, anyone else's, their thoughts, and just hear what they have to say and explain to them in a nice way and not a preachy way, to maybe explain your side or whatever you're thinking. There's going to be delays, there's going to be obstacles, but use that Mercury to get all the details. Again, be disciplined, have boundaries, know what you're working for. So if this isn't on this larger mundane scale, if it's just with yourself, you kind of maybe focus a little bit on what you're trying to work on. Again, with what I was talking about in my everyday life, in my work, we have some people, and there's kind of an imbalance right now. We're trying to get everything in balance. So you want to find out what everyone's issues are. So I'm going to hear your issues. I'm going to bring them to the other side, and then I'm going to hear their issues, and I'm going to bring them back to you. So I'm kind of like right now the mediator in between. So I'm kind of, being that balancing act. That's my Libra just out there, showing her stuff, especially, with Venus moving in there, and I have always been that person that tries to see both sides, and I try and see the good in either side, and try and I'll fight for a different side. Even if I don't really believe in it, I'll still fight for them, because that's just the type of person I am. And when you're in HR, you kind of have to be like that. So that Venus, I want to make everything pretty, I want to make everything nicey and have a nice happy workplace with everyone being happy. I mean, who wouldn't want that? That's, utopia right there. You're going to this place, and yeah, you have to go every day. You deal with the same people every day. Why not get along with everyone? And why not have everyone be happy? Because you have one grouch in the office, and then everyone can kind of get grouchy and get just that, that abrasiveness, and you just feel edgy because you just, oh, should I go in? Should I talk to this person? No, you want everything to be nice, and you want everyone to be happy. So it's like working with people, understanding their issues and working through the issues. And this is actually kind of a nice, because you can then preach it to somebody else and say, look, this is what this one's saying, how are we going to fix this? Let's deal with it. We have that Saturn in there. Saturn isn't always so bad and scary. Saturn can help have that foundation and have that, let's be mature about this, and not be, because we have Mercury that's very youthful, that's very immature, but then we have Saturn that's very mature. So it's kind of working with those two, okay, we want to do it in a playful way, in a happy way, in a way that's going to bring everyone together, but we also want to be serious, and we want to take this seriously, we want to take other people's concerns seriously, and we want to go about fixing them in a mature way. So, we're talking about these delays and everything, but we're going to get through them. We have to work through them, and you know what you're fighting for, so have your facts straight. Don't be rigid, and keep that open mind. Use that Pisces for that. And finally, it's the big one at the end of the week. On Saturday, the 11th, we have Mars in opposition to Uranus. So we have Mars here, Uranus down here. So this is where things get a little bit scary to me, and with all that's going on in the world especially. So, a lot of this stuff right now, you could have things going on in your own life, and see how this reflects on your chart, definitely. Get your chart up, astro.com. You can do it for free with your birth date, time, and place, and see the aspects that it's going to make to the things in your own personal chart. But on a mundane level, or even on a personal level, this can be, with this opposition, we have Uranus, which is that kind of lightning bolt, that lightning change, and then Mars is that kind of aggression, and that, doing things without without thinking, kind of acting rashly. This could be a sudden, angry, or aggressive outburst. This could be yourself. This could be, in the world. And that's what I'm most afraid of, is that, with all these tensions being so high, this aspect is like a ticking time bomb, and you're just waiting for it to go off. And it's like everything's coming to a head and something's going to just explode. Because that Uranus is that big pop, it's that bolt of lightning, and then that Mars is that like aggressive, act. So tensions are high. Mercury and Sag squaring Saturn. We know what we want. There's no changing our minds. And it's a fast and easy way to get these obstacles out of the way. So this, could be a dread to think that there could be any sort of horrible bombing, to get things to be done, to do something, to get things to change, to get things to go our way. But, if you think of even in your own life, the things, that you could go off. You could go off in anger and be angry and fights, and you could have something boiling under the surface and it could explode. Actually was checking it with my own chart, and I see all these aspects coming up, and I'm supposed to be going away next weekend, and oh God, I don't want to get in a fight or anything. I just want to have a nice few days off because everything's been so stressful. But you see these aspects, you know what could be going on. They're great to be prepared, so that's why it's great to get your chart up and kind of prepare. You know what, if you feel that bubbling under the surface, okay, it's just a passing transition. And we're just going to take it easy and we're going to work through it, and we're kind of going to use that Mercury a little bit, and Saturn to be civilized adults and, talk through instead of acting rash. So, like I'm saying, the Earth is already seeing 2 wars going on right now. And then right near me, where we're actually going on vacation up in Maine, there was another mass shooting. So this is a mass shooting. That is like that sudden act, that sudden, Mars, Uranus, that acting, sudden change, shooting people up, and you're acting with aggression without having any remorse, having any regard for what you're about to do. So one of the things, it's a very aggressive, unpredictable opposition. It's fueling these fires that are actually burning. So my biggest advice is to really know what's going on around you. Keep an eye on your surroundings. Mass shootings, for instance, you want to know where exits are. You want to know where you can hide. You want to see people coming in. Just always be aware and be prepared. I'm even looking at these doomsday preppers lately, where you see like, oh, these people have these doomsday bunkers. Well, maybe they aren't so crazy, with the way the world's looking for the next about year. You want to just be prepared. You want to, maybe stock up a little bit. Maybe just make sure that your, generator's full of gas or whatever. Have your water in the basement. Get a couple extra bags of dog food. Be prepared, because you just never know. If the grid shuts down, what are we gonna do? So. We still have a long way to go. It's going to be about another year. The nodes are coming into a square with Uranus also, so we don't know what we will go to get that brass ring that we're going to. And that's what's really scary. It's what are people willing to do to get what they want. Mars is also in a separating aspect with Uranus, or with Venus, not Uranus. So with Venus, so it's that not me, it's not us, it's me. It's like I'm getting away from the us, and it's all about me. So, they're Venus is moving, but it's not going to catch up, and they're kind of just moving away for each other. And so it's just like, I want to be alone. It was in Libra, it wasn't happy, now it's by itself, now it wants to take care of itself. So that's about it. So again, be safe, know your surroundings, know what's going on around you, and just kind of sit back and watch and try to not get involved in anything rash or crazy. And if you are involved, if you're in one of these places where something awful is going on, please keep yourself safe, and we're all praying for everybody, every one of you out there that's going through any kind of badness. So try and enjoy the beginning of this week, where we have a little bit of a break, but then be ready for the end of the week where things might get a little intense again. So be sure to subscribe also, and be prepared. Aware is key, and hit that notification bell to get updated on what's coming up next. So I'll see y'all soon. Bye-bye.